Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. First up, need an approval of the agenda. Motion to approve the agenda, please.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, any discussion, additions, deletions? None, all those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is the approval of the consent agenda. Have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make the.
I can move we approve the consent agenda.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The agenda passes. First up is public comments. And one person signed, Wayne Smith. You're up, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. I'm Wayne Smith. I've got the property at the Bay Inn Motel up here, which ends up started the sidewalk project and the culvert project out through there. Back when Dan Shaver's here, I spoke to him about a water problem. Right now the water comes down, goes on the motel, and it runs down and grounds the lot down below. The thing spending $500,000 put up a new building down there. Instead of putting the culverts in the wrong place, spend the money to put them in the right location. The State Department will tell you they're in the wrong location. Right now, where it goes on the motel, homemade culvert out of rock. Collapse at any time. But when it does rain hard, the water don't go in the culvert. It goes across the road and the town has to clean it up, which is a wreck hazard. This has been supposedly going to get fixed for several years. And now ends are spending money to put the water back in the wrong location. I spoke with the state about it. They said, I got to talk to the town. When I talked to the town maintenance guy, run around. He's going to talk to the board. I can tell he's not mentioning it to the board. Very poor representation for the amount of money I pay in tax. I mean, it's obvious what culvert needs to go. You know, come across Skyland Drive all the way down the creek. I got the maps here. You can understand it a lot better. If the water comes from the Navy Theater and everything back through there, it runs down to Skyland Drive, turns left for DJ. And then for about 100 feet. Well, I don't like to turn left when it's running full speed, but jumps the road. Then you have to stop the culverts, clean the roads. That's a normal thing. When you put the culvert at the intersection, run it all the way down the creek, solve all the problems. Here's the maps. Yeah, this is what needs to happen. Now here's where the water comes from. Needs to come down, go straight on down the creek. Right now, the water goes down, turns left, goes under the road, under the motel. Now that rock culvert, it's got holes in it. If a lot of water does get into it, it's going to flood the motel. If it floods the motel, I got to move all those folks out, remodel the motel or tear it down. There goes that tax money. Over here, there's no block building down here years ago, had a water problem. They couldn't figure it out. It comes from right here. You know, sinking down and down in the block building, we tore it down. Water's designed to keep going left, then go down through here. They're putting a new building down in here. Spending $500,000, you understand?
Is this outside of the scope of the 107 project?
Yeah, that's outside of 107,
Yeah.
the Skyland Drive
Skyland
sidewalk project.
It's not that's fine.
That's your
DJ's here.
And right here's the poster company. Like a new building right here, spending $500,000 for a new building, more employees. But when it rains hard, water jumps, comes in here, goes in his parking lot. Flooding the last time, like 2 inches get in the building. We got in the building, it run a lot of material, a lot of employees would have to go home that week. Plus we quit raining. And when the fire, there's a little box right there with a 4-inch pipe. Drain, can't drain water to 4-inch pipe. But and then you put a real catch basin in there here, not gonna flood his building. His employees will get to work, pay taxes. He might have to shut that down, but he's dropping $500,000 back here. Any town would love to have that man come to town. I'm a little bit. You know,
We'll look into it.
but the money is Also, the water that's coming down through here and crossing over to my driveway right here, the catch basin that I had to install was give up on Dan. Running over that way and out that way. They don't think that same water, put it in this pipe that goes under the motel. That part's illegal to do, motel. You can't add more water going under that wall. It's not going to carry what's already going. The culvert is way undersized, people. Way undersized. There's no sense in throwing money to part of this thing when it don't work to start with. Let's add more water to it.
Look at the
So
solution.
this is the one,
Really good solution.
that's cheaper.
Down here. Right down the goes straight across. That's where the water goes when it rains hard anyway. Right on down through here to the creek. This guy on this piece, I own everything down. You ain't got no problem right away. Nobody will say no.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's cheaper to put a pipe straight down through here. His building here, he can't get his foundation in yet because it's flooded with water that dumps out up here and seeps down. We're having a major issue with the foundation. It's been about $50,000 extra because this water seeps down where he's got his building right here.
All right, can we keep these?
Yes. these
Okay.
are needs. And like I said, any question, I'll be glad to answer anything, but, you know, this should have been fixed 5 years ago when I asked it and fix it. And he agreed. It needs to be over here because he has to come all the time and have to clean this road where it floods, you know. And the water that comes through here, you know, it drains to when you see the parking lot, the old MP parking lot, that whole hillside comes down and it turns left. You know, it's a creek, a river there when it comes down that point. You know, it ain't gonna turn left, you know, only when it's sprinkling.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for getting it up. Of course.
You don't want to drown the man that's got 500 grand on his paying for a building and he's building over.
Sooner or later.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if it's $500,000 building or $1 building or not, you don't want to drown anybody.
He'll drown my motel in the basement. It
Okay.
stores it. It rains hard. Thank you
Thanks.
for listening. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mike.
Okay, that's the only person I have signed up for public comments, so we'll close public comments. And we'll move on to reports. First is mayor's report. The only thing that I have, I've received the final draft of the botanical survey of Pinnacle Park. Pinnacle Park Board has received it. We have a meeting next Monday and we will review that this coming Monday. I doubt there will be any significant changes. We've already had a draft. So we will probably approve that final draft. And then the next thing that will happen is, as part of the contract for the survey, Equinox will do a presentation to the board. So I'll talk to Pinnacle Park Board Monday and see when they could come to a town board meeting, and then we can get that scheduled and put on the agenda. Probably April, maybe not the March meeting. Yeah. But I'll talk to the Pinnacle Park Board, because it'd be good if they were able to attend the town board meeting for the presentation, I think. Okay, we'll do commissioners' reports now.
I just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge one of our Jackson County residents, David Joy. He's a local author here in the area, and he wrote this book, Where All Lights Tend to Go, back in 2015. And it was recently made into a motion picture, which will release on February 17th. I'm hopeful Catamount Cinema will broadcast that movie, but I'd love to read, maybe some of you have read his books too. I just want to acknowledge him. He's a great asset to our community. Thanks.
Yeah, good evening. Couple things. First off, just wanted to remind everybody that this is 2023 is the North Carolina Year of the Trail. It's time to get outside, time to think about what we can do as a town, develop our trail system. Also for folks to get out and think about volunteering to help with trail maintenance. Other than that, I had coffee yesterday. I had a nice little meeting with Commissioner Letson, Chairman Letson from Jackson County Board of Commissioners. We had a nice little talk about just kind of things going on in the county, and also I got a chance to talk to him a little bit about kind of what's going on with opioid issues, kind of how that affects Sylva, but also just from where I work, I was able to give him a good perspective. So I'm looking forward to working with him and Jackson County Board of Commissioners in the future. That's it.
Nothing tonight, thanks.
I have nothing to report tonight.
All right, managers.
Things. Thank you all for the opportunity to attend the City County Managers Conference last week. It was really good. The best sessions were on the state of the economy, keeping communities affordable, homelessness, employee mental health, the retirement system, and community engagement. And it was also really nice to hear from other managers what they're doing with their art funds and other capital projects they have going on in their jurisdiction. Alvin Goshi has taken a job with the Sheriff's Department doing a SWAT team. So we're working to fill that vacancy in the police department. And the TWASA annual meeting is March the 7th. It starts at 4 with the business meeting at 5. If you all would like to attend and have an RSVP, let me know and I'll send in your reply. And I reached out to Jeanette White with DOT about an update on 107 as you all requested last meeting. She's putting that together and will send it to us. That's all I have.
Any questions? And I would encourage people to attend that TWASA annual meeting the 7th. It's our first one back in person. And come in 4 because there'll be chicken. Okay, planning board report.
Yes, so planning board met the 26th and reviewed agricultural uses. We'll bring this amendment before the town board soon. And I also wanted to let you know that Boyd Sussman resigned from the planning board. He's served since 2005. So we're very grateful to him for his service and dedication and work on our ordinances. Alan Brown is going to be the new chairman and Melissa Madrona will be vice chair.
Okay, any questions? That concludes the report section. And up next, we have swearing in mayor of office. Look up front.
Okay, ready. I, David Nessler, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof, that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of the state of North Carolina, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability. Do you? I, David Nessler, do swear that I will well and truly execute the duties of the office of mayor of the town of Sylva according to the best of my skill and ability, according to law. Do you?
I got you a little something for your mayor desk.
I love this picture. All right. You can't see it. That's Harold with his head down in frustration. And not just me, all of us. I appreciate that. Okay, new business. First on new business is the mayor pro tem appointment. And we had discussed this at our previous meeting. So we'll just entertain a nomination for any discussion.
I'd like to, wait, sorry.
I'd like to nominate Mary Gelball for mayor pro tem.
Okay, we have a nomination. Any discussion? Favor? All right.
Aye.
Okay, that passes. And next up then is the oath of office. The mayor pro tem.
Ready, family? Yeah.
I, Mary Gelbaugh, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof, and that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of the state of North Carolina, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability. Do you? I, Mary Gelbaugh, do swear that I will well and truly execute the duties of the office of Mayor Pro Tem of the town of Sylva, according to the best of my skill and ability, according to law, so help me God. Do you? Do you?
Congratulations. All right, appointment to the Rural Planning Organization. You want to describe this
Yes,
role?
this is through the Southwestern Commission. Each jurisdiction has an appointment to the RPO. They review transportation projects and receive updates from other agencies, bike ped, look at roads. They're the ones that are listening to the metrics of how the STIP projects are ranked.
Okay, and this was previously filled by Mayor Sossman. Do you know when the schedule is for those meetings?
Yes, so it's every other month, starting in January. I think it's the fourth Monday of the month at 5:30.
I would be glad to serve in that role since I think the mayor typically has, unless someone else has a particular interest in that. I did hear biking and pedestrian safety on there if you are interested, but I'd be glad to fill that position.
Yeah, we can always switch it up, right?
Somebody could attend in your place. It is more road related.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so let's kind of continue the tradition of having the mayor. I appreciate it.
Okay. So for nominations, do we need to open the floor for nominations and motion back and forth for nominations, get a nomination and close it, or can we just nominate and vote? Okay, okay, so I'll open the floor for nomination.
All right, I nominate Dave Nessler and the mayor to the Rural Planning Organization.
Okay, any discussion on that? All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Moving on to the next appointment, Southwestern NC Home Consortium. Board of Directors. Description on the.
This is a new organization that was started maybe 2 years ago through the Southwestern Commission to look at receiving additional federal funds for our region. If you have a home consortium, you're eligible for more grants. And it's based out of Haywood County, but every jurisdiction under Region A appoints someone to it.
And you know, meeting schedule, but
I don't think there's a set meeting schedule yet.
okay, I just mixed up. I was thinking this was the one that was right before the Southwest Regional Board of Directors meeting, but it's not. That was the other. Okay, so that makes more a lot of sense. Be a part of. So again, Linda was on this one. I'll be glad to fill in the role unless someone else has a particular interest in doing that.
I would like to nominate Mayor David Nessler.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, okay. That nomination carries as well. Next on our agenda is planning board appointments. Do you want to provide any background information?
Yes, so when we worked with our scattered terms and looked at how to stagger them with a 3-year cycle, Melissa was appointed in January of 2020, and she's willing to serve again. So her appointment would end February 28, 2025, and Boyd's seat would also end then. Since Melissa's willing to serve, you could appoint her now. And then what I would recommend for Boyd's seat is take applications. I know one person that was interested in a prior seat is still interested, but you could hold that to another meeting.
Okay.
How long do we keep applications open?
So Well, we could put it on the next meeting, or any of the next couple of meetings if you want. Or we could wait and see if you wanted to consider ones that were applying for the board also. It's up to you all.
Thoughts on that?
We might when's the next planning board meeting?
2 weeks.
Couple weeks. So probably better to get someone on by the next meeting than I would think, I mean, do the and we can renominate Melissa tonight, and then we can take a couple weeks to see who's interested to fill the open spot. Does that sound?
It might be nice to fill the spot after we fill the commission seat, because like you said, if someone applied for a spot on the commission, then they might be interested in a spot on the planning board if they don't get the appointment. Commissioner seat. So we'll go ahead and put out applications, it sounds like.
Yeah.
For that seat.
Okay.
And
That wouldn't be until March then, right?
So they would miss the February meeting.
Yeah. Okay with that? You okay?
So I would like to make a motion then that we reappoint Melissa and Jenna. On the second.
Okay, we have a motion. Any more discussion on that? No, all those in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Aye. Okay. So it's been reappointed and we're gonna hold off on appoint seat, take applications. That brings us to our next item, special event request, Nation Brewing 10-year anniversary festival.
So Nicole Owens submitted her application for a 10-year anniversary at Bridge Park. But she is unable to be here tonight. She's got a sick child, so Bernadette is going to field any questions that you all have.
Any questions from the board? The application was in the packet.
The application, it seems pretty straightforward. She's gonna have 2 beer vendors.
It'll look very similar to what we've had in the past in Bridge Park as events, but they will be inviting the public. And they'll have some food trucks as well.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the application.
Any more discussion or questions? All those in favor? Raise your hand.
Aye.
Carries. Next, we have a food truck request to set up on town property, Redhead's Company.
It's the vendor at the farmer's market that would like to stick around after the farmer's market and stay at Bridge Park. We had this request before, but it was for the swimming pool. So the food truck ordinance requires that the town board approve this request or set any stipulations to it. The only conflict I see is if there is an event like Wine and Drinker or the farmer's market stays over at Greenie at the Mountains. But if there's another event where a group has rented that whole lot, maybe Pottery Festival, they need to check to make sure that it's that the paved area is available.
Okay, so giving them permission to locate there on town property should come with the caveat that it is not hold for events and that it be their responsibility to communicate with the event holder and know the event schedule and not be on the premises if the event is not one. That would be the caveat you would recommend.
Yes.
And this is just Saturdays until 4, is what right?
Is there anything else about that, Bernadette?
And is it just bread or are these the folks that also have a pizza oven?
No, they do sandwiches.
They do sandwiches. Okay, so they would be
They've
doing,
been part of the farmer's market selling baked goods and breads for a while, and they're adding sandwiches to their coffee.
okay,
The spot that it goes, I guess it's worked out beforehand so they can stay later and not block any
Right,
parking or.
right. They should, because they might need some power, they'll be closer to those power poles. And I know that the farmer's market kind of fits them in, where they need to be and then puts the other tents around it. So that's where they'll stay for the day.
Right. All right, well,
I'll make a motion that we approve that.
you want to state the caveats?
Just saying that, they need to. What was it?
Sorry.
They need to not block any traffic from any festivals or any sort of set up in the beginning to stay the whole day. Is that all of them?
Okay, any more discussion on that? None, all those in favor? All right, here's again, last on the agenda, NC Department of Commerce, Outdoor Recreation Economies. Memorandum of Understanding.
I'll let you take this, Bernadette.
Actually, I'm gonna have Ann stand up and I'll help fill in.
All right. I think the MOU is in the packet, probably.
Yes.
So yes, I'm Ann Bass. I'm the ARC Community Economic Development Planner for the Western region. I used to live in Sylva, and then in the middle of the night, my landlord came and said he sold the house I was renting. So I ended up having to move to Waynesville. Anyway, I still have an office here. Yes, I'm still here. So CORE, that the MOU is written up for, is creating outdoor recreation economies. And this is an EDA funded project that came out of the impacts of COVID. So it's ARPA monies as they come down. And the idea is to help communities look at their outdoor recreation assets and see if there are ways that we can strengthen the economic impact or the economic involvement, we'll say, in those activities. As you all remember, when COVID hit and we all got shut down, we got run over. I mean, so many people came out from larger towns thinking, oh, well, somehow because it's a smaller town, everything is, the air is cleaner and whatever else. But a lot of communities didn't necessarily see the impact, the economic impact that they could have. So that's what this is in response to. Plus, we all know that the outdoor recreation is good physically, socially, emotionally, so improving health sort of as well. So this would be a process, and I'd be working with Bernadette. She's putting together an all-star team, and we would work through an asset-based economic development strategic planning process, basically. We expect that it'll be about 4 months, probably. We'll see how engaged we get as to how long it really takes, but that's the idea. We do the MOU. I've talked to a lot of other colleagues and they say, oh my gosh, you make them do an MOU and a resolution. And that's how I think, oh gosh, do we have to do this? But we do it because very often in smaller communities, especially, I end up working with nonprofit organizations. And then sometimes the town board doesn't even know we're in town and working. And actually, we really like to have you involved. And I understand maybe there might be some involvement, but also so that you know what's going on. And in the end, maybe there would be some projects that you'd be interested in implementing. The service is free, so no money or anything. I just have to tell you that I'm in town working, and if you approve, we'll get started right away in March.
Jackson County has also put in a memorandum of understanding as well. We'll be working separately and in tandem because a lot of things affect each other.
It sounds really similar to the format of that Commerce Department program we did years ago. And I think Ern, you were involved with that.
Those were my predecessors.
Okay.
That did that. I started just after you had completed the process. And so it'll be a very similar process. And yes, we shall. And actually, I think you guys have done an amazing job at implementing pretty much everything that was in that plan. So.
Yeah, that was a fun process. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so we need to pass this memorandum of understanding, and there was a resolution in the packet as well. We can just adopt those in one motion. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to adopt the memorandum of understanding with CORE as well as the resolution, which I don't have the wording. The resolution, close enough.
Resolution requesting core services from the North Carolina Main Street and Rural Planning Center.
As stated by Paige.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'm willing to make the motion. I just want to make sure Nick Breedlove is involved in this project.
He will be by interview rather than by committee. He's already done all the asset mapping, so we're kind of way ahead in the process.
And I've been in touch with him, so.
And we have a motion. Any more discussion, questions? All those in favor, raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks.
Only one thing left on the agenda. Motion to adjourn.
I motion we adjourn.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Very efficient, Mayor.